What is going on, YouTube? Before we jump into this video, I just want to let you guys know that I have made an official Instagram page for my YouTube channel. Something I probably should have done long ago, but I'm going to throw it right here on the screen. So if you want to keep up with the channel, get in contact with me, or just see everything before it gets to the YouTube channel, then make sure you go ahead and follow this Instagram page that is on the screen. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. I want to talk about the C5 Corvette and 5 things that I strongly dislike about this car. Not sure I hate anything, but there are some things that I don't like, just like with any car. So let's jump right into it. So the main thing that is not really an issue, but something that's not to like, is the interior of this car. The main thing with the interior is it is cheap. With that being said, I actually don't hate it, but that's definitely the weak point of this car. For everything you get performance wise with the C5, the interior was just something that had to take a hit for how much they were selling these cars for. Yeah, interior is cheap. The window switches, all of that. It is not going to be quality. If you want a quality interior, you're not going to find it in here. And I know that's going to rub some of my C5 owners the wrong way, but it is what it is. Tell me I'm lying. The second thing that's also in the interior that I do not like, which, I mean, it has its pros too, is going to be these seats. The reason I don't like these is because as they wear, they just start to fall apart. Like, you know, this is just completely coming out of place. My seat rocks back and forth when I'm driving. If I hit my brakes hard, my seat's gonna start rattling or moving around. It just does not feel safe. But with that being said, what I did, since I'm tall, I adjusted them where they go all the way down and back. So that fixed my issue for now. Haven't had any problems since. So that's the solution to that. But still, these seats are not the strong point of the interior either. They are very comfortable, just not very sports oriented like you would expect for a Corvette. With that being said, I'll change them one day, but I don't have any problems with them for what I do. But still, that can be an issue for a lot of people, because as they wear, they just start to fall apart to the point to where you have to replace them. Mine are ripping and they do get worse, but it is what it is with that too. So I'm gonna leave the interior alone. So those are my first 2 things. The next thing I don't like will have to be the aftermarket for these cars. And you might say, why wouldn't you like an aftermarket? Well, specifically the aftermarket tax that Corvettes get. Any Corvette specific part is just going to be way more expensive than you would find for any other car. For example, tail lights. The only pairs of tail lights you can find that are LEDs are all over $300. I couldn't find a set for under at least $290. So with tax, they're going to be over $300 for tail lights. It's like, for real, tail lights. On this truck, I paid 70 bucks for my headlights. My LED tail lights weren't even $200, I believe. They might have been a little bit over 200, but I mean, those are top of the line LEDs, and I had multiple options. So same manufacturer, but for a Corvette, they put that tax on there. And then other things, you know, side skirts is going to be hard to find, and when you do, they're going to be expensive. Your rear quarters, all of that. I mean, granted, they do make them in carbon fiber, but just in general, any Corvette specific parts, just know that they're going to cost more. And you guys will see what I'm talking about if you do get a C5, or my C5 owners know. A lot of stuff isn't as expensive. Like for the engine, it's the LS1. You can find stuff for that. It's not too bad. So it's kind of a complaint. But for like a lot of the body stuff, oh, be prepared to go ahead and open your pocketbooks up, because it is about to do some things to you that you won't like. That's really it for that. The aftermarket is, like I said, it's just expensive. Fourth thing that I don't like, which is going to be how low the C5 is. And you might be like, why would you buy a C5 if you're gonna complain about how low it is? Well, I knew it was low, but man, this car stock is the lowest car I've ever been in. I have a lower G35 that I lowered 3 inches all the way around, and this car is still lower than its stock. So that is probably the craziest part. you have never driven a Vet or a lower vehicle, it would definitely be an adjustment. The last one, and this one is gonna be a little bit left field, but the last one is also going to go with it being low, is the car is cooled from the bottom. And what I mean by that is, on a majority of your normal C5s, you'll have your air dams on the bottom. You have two up front, which I took off, and then there's a middle one, which I also don't have. Pretty much bring air to your radiator and your fan. That is an issue because, number one, the car is already low, so the bumper guards are, you know, those are pieces of the air dam. They rub on every and anything, so it'll sound like you're scraping when it's just the plastic on the bottom. And then on top of that, your air dam, if you hit any kind of bump where it bottoms out, there's a chance you're going to lose your air dam. So that's something I really don't like about Vets, and it's just how it's designed. It works well for the performance aspect, but there are ways you can get around that. You can remove your front license plate and you can turn that into a grill and make it to where it forces air to the radiator, which that's something I would more than likely be doing. That's just the way around it, but that's gonna do it for this one. Like I said, I'm being very honest. I didn't want this video to come off as me being biased towards the car. Those are just the honest things you need to consider before you buy a C5, because like I said, these are all things that are factors to think about when you buy this car. One update before I end the video, I just changed my back tires to some cheap Otsu FP8000s. I think I didn't even pay $300 for the rear two tires. They were $292 out the door, I believe. So very cheap tires. And the reason I took my Firestone Firehawks, which are somewhere back there, the reason I took those off is because they were rubbing. Right here where you can see all of this rubber residue that I got to get off. So I went ahead and replaced those with these Otsu FP8000s, and so far they have been great. Once they warm up, they hook, and I did a few first gear pulls. They hook pretty good, so I'll probably do a review on those, because I know a lot of people are looking for a cheap tire or a cheaper tire as a solution to buying expensive Corvette tires or expensive rear tires, which I still recommend anyway. Don't buy cheap tires unless you absolutely have to. So that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you liked it. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch y'all on the next one. And that is a stunt airplane, because he just came in very hot. Pretty cool. But as always, y'all take it easy, and I will catch y'all on the next video.